Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Artisa, a Black queer feminist, gardener, homemaker, and hopefully soon to be first time mama. On this channel, I share my preconception journey, all things queer family building, wellness, and joy. If you're down for this type of content, please like and subscribe so we can continue to grow this channel. So today, friends, we have our first of the season garden tour. And there will absolutely be background noise. My dog is very upset that he's not out here with me right now. And we have neighbors playing jazz. So if you can hear that, please just enjoy the soundscape of Chicago. But today is our first ever full-length garden tour. So I'm super excited. It is the end of June and the garden has completely popped off. We haven't harvested any fruit yet, but we are super close to doing so. If you are new here, I garden on a north-facing Chicago balcony in the city, smack dab in the middle of the city. And I am growing in grow bags, in Greenstalks, in a raised bed. I also have a small plot at the local community garden. So I'm gonna walk you through everything that's here, everything that's growing, what's going well, what can use some support, and what I've been doing so far. So to start, here is my back door to my apartment. I'm on the 3rd floor, so I have no one above me, so I'm getting just about full sun on just about all of these plants. There are a few places where there is a shadow because of the cast of the building, and I will show you that as well. But to start off, we'll start over on this side. This is an area that gets a little bit of shade. It gets full sun in the morning and sun in the evening. But while the sun is behind the building, it is not getting any sun. So down here we have some mojito mint that is doing super well. Mint obviously is going to do well just about anywhere. I've pruned this back a few times. Obviously it keeps coming, and it's just, you know, a great place, a great little thing. I keep mint in this container every year. This is where I plant it, and each year it does well. Here we have a little marigold just for, you know, some pest support. And then this is actually a raspberry plant. This is a heritage raspberry, I believe. And this is my first year growing it. I grew it from bare roots. It is looking a little bit on the yellow side. I wonder if it is because I also stuck a cucumber back here with the intention of it growing up this trellis, which it is starting to, as you can see. However, my leaves, as they're coming in, they're getting a little yellowing. So I might need to do some fertilizing, making sure, one, because this is in a container, so it's running out of food sooner, and also competing for resources with this very vigorous looking cucumber. I gotta say though, I am super excited about cucumbers this season. Every year I have tried to grow cucumbers in my Greenstalks and they just have not done very well. So I have 2 cucumber plants. I'll show you the other one in a little bit, but this one is doing super well. I just set up this trellis. I don't think you all have seen this yet, but I've set up this trellis. I'll take you in a second to see it a little bit closer, from a just a staking kit that I got off Amazon. I can link it below. Essentially it has these same size stakes, but then they have these adapters so you can build on top of each other, so from height, or you can build over and build like cages and things like that, which I really loved. With growing in multiple different mediums, it means that I can customize to what it is that I need. So we're gonna pray for this little raspberry. Hopefully it is strong enough that I can get it to come back year after year. But this is an experiment. My first time growing a perennial up on this porch. So we'll see. We have lots and lots of cucumber flowers, if you can see that. Let me see if I can bring you in a little bit. There are so many cucumber flowers here. And I'm seeing down here, I can't really show you now, but there is one female cucumber that I'm so excited about. Most of these are male flowers. But one female flower, so, oh, I see two female flowers. So hopefully we'll be getting and harvesting some cucumbers soon. Next up in the grow pots, we have a Paul Robeson tomato. It has flowers. I came out here this morning and pruned off some of the like lower leaves. But so far we've got a couple main leaders. Well, yeah, a couple. 3 actually. 4, because this is a sucker too. I know that the tradition is to kind of prune your main leaders when it comes to your indeterminate tomatoes. But I'm so concerned about not getting a lot of fruit. So I don't know. I might play it by ear. For this one. We've got Tulsi in the front. And then over here we have zucchini. I'm gonna actually turn you around and show you this one a little closer. So this is my first time growing zucchini, and I am very excited about it, especially since this is looking like it's going to be my first fruit that I harvest out of the garden. I don't know if you can see that really well. It's a dark beauty or dark green zucchini, one of the two. So many male flowers. I thought about harvesting some of those for like to stuff them, but I wanted to get my first fruit first. So lots of male flowers, doing really good. I did prune off the bottom leaves just to make sure we're staying disease free. And I might end up trellising this up as well vertically. And then last of the grow bags is a hill country red okra. This is the only okra in my garden that actually looks very healthy, even if it looks pretty puny. The leaves are looking pretty healthy. I'm checking for aphids because that has been a problem. I'll show you more of that when we get to the raised bed. But yeah, it looks like it might be trying to put on some flowers. I feel mixed about letting it put on flowers since it still feels so small, but I think I picked off the first couple, so I think I'm gonna let it be and see how it does. I am concerned that in this grow bag, this is a 10-gallon grow bag, it maybe does not have enough depth to form the root system that it needs, because I believe that okra creates a taproot and goes down, but I could be wrong about that, so do not quote me. And then to this absolute gorgeous beauty here. This is a leaf 7-tier Greenstalk. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this is a 7-tier Greenstalk. The most success I've gotten in my gardens over the years has been in Greenstalks. I have been able to grow so much food, and especially a lot of leafy greens and herbs. So in here we have herbs at the top, some thyme, some cilantro that's starting to bolt, some parsley that's looking pretty good. We have some lettuce that's growing back from me harvesting a big bunch of it. Parsley, chamomile, oregano, sage, some more marigolds that I need to deadhead, some Thai basil, some rosemary, and these absolutely stunning dill bouquets. I will probably actually harvest these as cut flowers because I think they're so pretty. And then all down the tower, we have lettuces and kale and mustard greens. Some of these mustard greens are actually going to seed. How pretty is that? So I will actually cut this down, and put something else here. I have some dead leaves. But yeah, I'm super proud of this garden. I've been trying to succession sow it so that we're in lettuce all year, but it is honestly producing more than we have been able to eat off of as quickly as I was hoping for. So, whew, I'll probably be bringing a few of these over to my mom's house for 4th of July and sharing the love over there. And now over to Big Mama. So the grow pots are new to me this year. My first time growing in them, but they're pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. This raised bed is also new to me this year, and this was the thing that I was the most getting excited about with this growing season. Last year, I grew exclusively in Greenstalks, which again, I love, but when it comes to your indeterminate tomatoes, your bigger format tomatoes, peppers, it grows peppers pretty decently, but not as abundantly. And just having more space to get a little bit creative. The Greenstalks, I have not had that kind of good luck with. I have seen a lot of people online having wonderful harvest from your larger format plants. And one creator that I follow at Yellow Door Urban Homestead, she is growing zucchini in hers this year. And I was like, I'm going to have to try that next year for sure. But either way, I was super excited and wanted a raised bed because I wanted to be able to grow like larger format tomatoes. That was the biggest thing for me. And I am doing that here. So on this side of the bed is my tomato side. It looks wild and so full right now. We have an orange hat tomato, which is, I believe, a smaller slicer tomato that's orange. I'm so sorry, not an orange hat. It's called orange cream. Orange cream tomato over here. In the middle is the Tasmanian chocolate, I believe. And then over on this side, we have a pink panther, which is like a teardrop shaped cherry tomato that has like kind of a tie-dye, pink, purplish tie-dye situation. I'm really excited. I've never grown any of these varieties before, but all of these are dwarf variety tomatoes. So my hope was that I could grow larger tomatoes, dwarf, so they stay a little compact, and so that I could have get a lot more harvest with a little bit of space. I call myself square foot gardening in here. It's a little packed. It's a little bit packed. So I did have some lettuce down in the front. I did have some lettuce down here in the front. I did just harvest those. And then I am actually thinking about taking out this marigold. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. How pretty are those marigolds? I started this marigold from seed. Most of my garden is actually all of my garden except for the dwarf tomatoes back here were started from seed, and some of the herbs. But yeah, so this was a started from seed plant. I love her, but I'm concerned about airflow. So far, so good. I don't have any disease behind there. But as the season heats up, I don't want to sacrifice my tomatoes for anything. So I might end up taking this out. I also have a Tulsi. There's also a very large Tulsi back here. I might actually just take this whole plant out, turn it upside down, and dry it and harvest it again to get some airflow. There's also like a nasturtium back there. So I did too much in this space. And speaking of doing too much, here is a Kazaka melon. My understanding that Kazaka melons are supposed to be a little bit smaller. In hindsight, I think that what it really means is it's a smaller actual fruit, but the vine isn't necessarily going to be less compact. I don't know. If I am wrong with that, please let me know in the comments. But these are Kazakhstan melons. They are supposed to be like a white fleshed honeydew style melon. So I'm curious about that. And their personal size, like I said. So I'm excited about the possibility of at least having, hopefully, one melon, so that I can taste it. And there's also a mammoth basil down here. So let me bring you in so you can see everything a little bit closer. Okay, and then on this other side of the bed, ooh, let me get my hair together. On this other side of the bed, we have my peppers. So I, this year, am growing peppers, just a few peppers in my Greenstalks, and then the rest are in here. I wanted to kind of do a little test to see what is more productive. For the most part, I am fertilizing these all at the same time, which is ideally every 2 weeks. And I've been pretty good on that. Everything's looking pretty healthy. So my hope is I want to see who has a bigger yield from the Greenstalks to the raised bed. Now here is where my issue started. My peppers started getting completely covered in aphids. I mean, all underneath the leaves. Ooh, I'm starting to itch just thinking about it. I am a gardener, I'm an outdoorsy queer that does not fuck with bugs. I do not like them bugs. I love my garden. I be out here all the time, but I'm not a fan of the bugs. And this year I had so many gnats for one. So I've gotten some beneficial nematodes for the soil to hopefully help with the gnat issue. And then I got ladybugs to help with the aphids. And let me tell you, the girls have done their job because I can barely see any more aphids on my pepper plants. So here's my girls. Those are my beautiful pepper plants. These are some of the most lush looking peppers that I have ever grown. And I'll bring you in to see the helpers that have been supporting me in making this happen. I am so grateful for y'all. I hope you are well fed and well taken care of, and that you go to other people's gardens and also help them with their aphid problems. But I have so many, I don't know if you can see, there are so many budding flowers, opening flowers coming. So I hope that means we have an absolutely fantastic pepper year. I wish y'all could see this, but there is a ladybug in this pepper flower. You can kind of see her shadow a little bit, but right in there. And she is hard at work cleaning out, because that flower, last time I checked, had aphids all on the inside of the flower. But she was just in there munching away, and I actually don't see any aphids at this point, but I do see the little booty of a pepper. So that's super exciting. As far as varieties, we have a shishito here, a sugar rush peach in the back. We have a Jimmy Norello in the back here. That one looks the most spindly out of all of the peppers. So hopefully she does a good job. I don't know. And then we got another shishito. I wanted 2 shishitos up here because we love shishito peppers. I love to roast them, put them on the fire, on the grill, put a little lemon on them. Oh my God, so good. And then in the corner there, we have a jalapeno. So That's the peppers. We have a massive dill that has grown out of the bed. And it is putting on its bouquet, and it's gorgeous. I love how like long and floppy the flower tendrils are. This might also end up becoming part of a bouquet. And then in the corner there, we have our second cucumber. Yeah, it is flowering. It is looking happy. I'm trying to trellis it up the side wall of the structure. And in the back corner there, we've got some snap peas with some really great looking garden snacks. Let me actually take this one because it's about to go. Take a couple of these for the road. Our sweet little garden snacks. The smaller they are, the sweeter. But also the more you harvest things like your snap peas, the more will come on. I'm pretty sure that's true for most fruit. I don't know if it's like your bigger fruits like melons, and I don't think for your bigger squashes and melons, I don't think that's the case because it takes them so long to grow. But for things like your tomatoes, your beans, your peas, that kind of thing, the more that you eat them and the more that you harvest them, the more you'll have. So once I see them get big, especially once they're going to get to a point where they aren't even that, they're too big and aren't going to be that tasty, go ahead and get your hands on them. Yeah, because the seeds were almost mature in this one. But let me tell you, even if this one's a little bit bigger, it's still really good. Okay, let me get back focused. Okay, now let's talk about the east side of the garden. So we have a grow bag here with a indeterminate tomato, some mammoth basil, and another one of those marigolds that I started. I love this marigold, but again, I'm wondering if it's competing for resources with that tomato, because I planted that tomato, started those seeds the same time I started these seeds, the Paul Robeson seeds. And this one just feels smaller to me, and doesn't have any flowers yet. Now they're two different varieties. This is a Isis candy, so it's a cherry tomato, but I don't know. I'm scared to remove this marigold because we do have a squirrel issue up here, and I know this helps fight the squirrels off. But anywho, there's a sucker right here I'm gonna take out. This is my beautiful Isis candy. She looks super healthy, super healthy. My hope is to continue. I need to probably get another stake and trellis her a little bit more. I don't know if this is where this bed is gonna stay. I just don't know where it's gonna go either. So we shall see. My basil's doing really good. I'm probably gonna do a really nice big chop on my basils and start some pesto, freeze them in blocks, and they will just continue to get bushier and bushier. All right, and then over to the big, glorious Greenstalk. So both of these Greenstalks are the original Greenstalks. Sorry, it's a little dark. Let's see if that's a little bit better. Both of these are original Greenstalks. This one on the right is only 4 tiers. I bought it as a 5 tier. Unfortunately, it fell on my last apartment deck and the top tier cracked. All the rest of the tiers were fine. So we're using it like this. And Greenstalk, unfortunately, has not brought back this color again. And I think it might be a discontinued color. So it's going to have to stay a 4 tier. My intention for it this year was to make it a strawberry bed. However, I bought a bunch of bare root strawberries and only one of them, only a couple of them survived. So I had a few of them get tore up by squirrels in the beginning of the season, and then the rest of them just like did not root and reproduce. So I've bought a couple of starts since then that are in here, and I've ordered a couple that will be here actually tomorrow that I'm going to put in here. The rest I'm probably going to use as a starting off my fall garden. I'm going to actually try and do a fall garden this year. I don't know exactly what that's going to mean with such limited space, but we're going to experiment and we're going to try. So that being said, this green stalk is a lot of it empty, but let me show you something very exciting that I just saw this morning. So we have zinnias up here. That's not necessarily the exciting thing, even though they are beautiful and blooming. I just did a harvest off of these zinnias yesterday, and they are already, putting on some more flowers. So that's exciting. We've got our girl Tulsi back here. I'm probably going to give her a big chop. Let her continue to get bushy and thick. Over here, though, is a strawberry plant called Toscana. And look how gorgeous these freaking flowers are. I have never seen strawberry flowers this beautiful before. And it seems like there's a bunch of flowers on here, so that will bud. So I'm super excited about that. Hopefully we'll be getting some strawberries soon. There's more over here. And down here is a runner. I am probably going to get Greenstalk has cups that you can get and fill with soil for your strawberry runners. I am probably just going to grab a kind of cup or something like that and try and root this out so that I can then place this in the pocket next to it. I was hoping that this runner was going to get large enough where I could just stick it over there, but it has not so far. So I'm excited about that. I really hope that this plant has even more runners, because I would love a whole green stalk of these gorgeous freaking pink flowers. If the berries are good, we're even more in business. This is it. Toscana, strawberry. She's a beauty. She's an absolute beauty. My goal this fall is to hopefully keep these strawberry plants alive. So I will show you how I do that when we get there. Here's a chamomile I started from seed. The other chamomile and the other green stalk is not started from seed. This is one of my bare roots. This is one of my bare roots that actually lasted. I will probably end up at the end of the season putting all of the strawberries in one tier so that they're all contained, and then I can figure out a way to keep them warm enough during the winter so that their root systems do not freeze, so that they'll come back next year. I grabbed this strawberry from the farmer's market this last week. It is an everbearing strawberry, like the rest of all of my strawberries are everbearing. However, I do not know a variety. The farmer there, or the person working the stand, also did not know the variety, so we'll see. We'll see. There's another one of my bare roots that actually came through, another mammoth basil, marigold, and that's it here. So many pockets with potential. Like I said, I have 3 more strawberries that are coming, and then that I will get in here, and then the rest will be some sort of like broccoli, cabbage, that kind of thing that I'll get started. Then over to this beauty, my pride and joy of my green stalks. How gorgeous is she? Just absolutely lush and full. So in this green stalk behind me, I have mostly micro dwarf tomatoes. I have so many different varieties. Up here is a Venus micro. I don't think I have any orange hats this year. I have a Laura micro. There's like one chocolate micro that actually survived when I was planting the seeds or germinated. So most of these are micro dwarf tomatoes, which I love, love, love to do in my green stalks, because you're just getting so much bounty of cherry tomatoes, but in such a little space and such a compact plant. So my intention was to make this as filled up with micro dwarfs as I could possibly make it. This green stalk is very much a haven for spiders, and I, again, like I said earlier, not a fan of the creepy crawlies. So I'm not gonna get too close. I'm gonna try and spin it for y'all, but I'm not gonna get all up on her. But I have a couple of those peppers in here. Like I told you, we have a sweet banana here that is producing. There is collard greens down here. There's a nasturtium. There's some more tulsi. Up at the top, we've got zinnias, lavender, more zinnias, marigolds. So I'm gonna bring y'all in close so that you can see the detail that's happening. All right, so we'll start at the top. We've got a zinnia here. These are cut and come again zinnias. All the zinnias in my garden are cut and come again. So that is what's that. I also just learned from another creator, the Chicago Gardener, I believe is her channel, that if you cut your cut and come again zinnias down lower, it will train them to actually give you longer stems, which I like, instead of having a stem that's only this long, which I put in my bud vases and they're very cute. I would love stuff that's a little bit longer, like maybe this. And I don't know if you can see because of all the shadows here, but then we've got lavender at the top. Over here, looks like I need to do some pruning on these leaves, these bottom leaves. We have a bonsai micro tomato. So many leaves. I mean, leaves too, but so many flowers. So should be producing some tomatoes soon. And they're so teeny tiny, how cute. Another zinnia and our marigold. And then this is a smaller, this one got stunted. I probably pruned this one when I put it in because it was flowering and I was like, oh, it's too early. I won't be doing that again. This next tier, all micros. So we've got quite a lot of fruit. Quite a lot of fruit. Ain't she gorgeous? These oblong fruits are so pretty. They've been here for quite a minute now, so hopefully they will be blushing soon. But that goes all the way around. Some more tomatoes. Can y'all see in here? I want y'all to be able to see these. There we go. Look how gorgeous. We've got a Jimmy Narello over here. I accidentally knocked the top off of this one, so it's gotten a little bit bushier, but it's still pretty small. But it's put on some flowers. My absolutely stunning collards. The other ones are looking pretty rough because I do need to come out here and water, but that one looks gorgeous. I mean, here's my hand for reference. She's beautiful, beautiful. My hope is to like really let my collards get big and bushy and take them all at one time so that I can actually make a pot of collard greens rather than just having a few. I'm also going to probably put some collard greens in this one as well because we eat a lot of collards around here. A very gorgeous bushy type nasturtium that has not started flowering yet, but she's beautiful. I've got a straw flower in here that I started from seed. It has not started flowering yet. Another micro dwarf. Oh, here's a zinnia. I hadn't realized that I put a zinnia down here and it could use some support. So I'm gonna grab, I have the Greenstalks support system. I'm gonna grab that and give that some support. There's a basil down here that's absolutely getting shaded. More collard greens. Beautiful. And then what's this here? Jalapeno. So I tried to get one of each of the peppers that are here. I tried to also put them in the Greenstalk so that I could really do that test. And that is about it. There's another zinnia right here that's gorgeous and growing very tall. Those zinnias are super happy. So yeah, that's my pride and joy. And then I just have 2 more containers to show you in this garden, and then we'll head over to the community garden to see that one. Over in this corner, because I could not figure out where else to put it, mostly because this was over on the front porch, which does not get very much sun, and it was struggling bad. So here is the other raspberry plant. It is obviously a little bit more stunted than the last one. And then there's a watermelon I stuck in here. Again, I will be needing to feed this really well because it has 2 very heavy, pretty heavy feeders in here. Another thing that I wanted you to notice is you see how this is all messed up? That's because a freaking squirrel then came in here, dug it around. So far, they haven't eaten up, well, recently, let me knock on wood, they haven't eaten up any of the plants, but they have been digging around in some of these larger beds. I keep pulling grass out of my mulch because this mulch I got had grass seed in it. Not a lot, but enough to be annoying. Oh shoot, I think that is raspberry. That's not grass. Okay. Anyway, beautiful raspberry, some sugar baby watermelons. And then lastly, we have our asparagus. And it is very puny and doesn't get a lot of sun. So we'll see. We'll see how our asparagus patch does. It's kind of it's a little neglected. That's just what's true. And friends, that's it on this garden. I'm going to now take you over to the community garden where some of my other indeterminate tomatoes are and my other okra. Over there is not looking quite as beautiful and healthy as this side is. All right, friends, so here is the community garden plot. I love this community garden. It's so sweet. There's quite a few plots out here too. But here's what I've got going on here. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to bring you in closer in a second. But I have some Hill Country okra, some Clemson spineless, and the red variety okra, all here. All 3 of them look terrible. And all 3 of them are covered in aphids. The bottoms are covered in aphids. I brought over a packet of ladybugs over here yesterday. I do not see any over here currently. So that's not super great. Don't know if this okra is going to survive, but I'll give it a couple more weeks to see how it does, see if it looks like it's going to bounce back. And if it's not, I might pull it and see if I can get something else here, so that I'm not, wasting my season, clear, easy space in my season for some great spaces. However, my tomatoes are doing amazing, and I should have brought over my pruners because some of them need to be pruned and need to be trellised up a little bit more. So let me bring you in a little closer. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me tell you the variety. So this is over here at Isis Candy. In the middle, we have a pineapple tomato, and on the end here, we have a Paul Robeson. And then this okra over here is, this is a Hill Country red, and this is my red burgundy okra. I also stuck a Prescott Fond melon over here yesterday when I was here. This is a transplant from the balcony bed. I don't know if it's gonna do well, but we will see. And then there is a watermelon over here. I think I'm gonna give all of this a little bit of water because it's looking a little dry. Oh, maybe I won't because it's going to rain tomorrow. So let me bring you in a little closer. So here's that Prescott Fond. Again, it's looking a little bit sad after transplant. I completely forgot to put some fertilizer down when I put it in here, which is completely my bad because it could have supported against some transplant shock. And then here are those okra leaves. They are just not looking good at all, especially compared to the okra back on the balcony. But if you can see here, they are absolutely just covered with aphids. And I'm pretty sure that the ants are farming the aphids because there are ants everywhere in this bed as well. But that's essentially how all of these okra plants look. Gross, absolutely gross. And then my tomatoes back there. Oh, there are some ladybugs in the tomatoes. I see one at least. So, I don't know, friends. The tomatoes look great. I'll get them staked up. We've got beautiful flowers in there. And there's some disease showing on the bottom leaves. So I'm gonna come over here at some point this week and get these, fix up the trellising, fix up the staking, and do a little pruning. But outside of that, that is the garden tour. First garden tour of 2026 season, June garden. I will continue to keep you updated, but if you enjoy this kind of content and want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.